Hello, this is Light and Bone Tarot. Thank you so much for listening. I am going to be doing a reading for you. It's basically, it is January 1st, 2022. So I am focusing my next few readings on the fact that it's the new year. And I'm just going to dedicate them to what you would expect this first month in January. So this one is January 2022, your current relationship. We have four pictures and topics. We have fluff, made, view, and done. And so you basically look at these beds and find the one that, I guess maybe it looks like the bed you wish you were in. Maybe it looks like the bed you wish you slept in with your partner, something along those lines. But whatever bed speaks to you, whatever picture. And then we have a caption to go with it. We'll see if that tracks. But I just really want you to find the picture that really calls to you. So, okay, let's get started. Let's do, I'm going to read for pile 1 here. So if you are pile 1, you picked Fluff. So hello, Fluff. Thank you very much for letting me read for you. Okay, great. I've given these cards a hearty shuffle. And I want to know about your current relationship. So I think I'm going to get a snapshot. I'm going to get a snapshot of your current relationship. So let me get started. I'm going to put an oracle card in the center. Okay. So we have Nourish the Sacred. And I'm going to flank this with 2 tarot cards and see where we're at. This is your relationship. Oh, it's a pretty card. Okay. So we are getting a snapshot of your relationship. So far, I think we're in pretty good shape here. Daughter of Cups, the Lovers, the Tower, which I actually like, and then the Four of Swords, which we can say rest, and then we can go into a little more detail. If I look at this and I see Nourish the Sacred Feminine, I do think that your relationship, hold on here. So there are 2 different things here on the right and the left. On the left, with the Lovers and the Daughter of Cups, I feel like it could be a very quintessential, loving, open, caring, communicative relationship that's just warm and fuzzy and great. And then on the right, we have somewhat of the opposite. This is the card of like rest, rejuvenation, which is a positive, kind of a euphemism for this card. And the Tower is like, letting things crash and burn, letting things run their course, come to an end. It's a little bit of it's an interesting card. I don't mind the Tower, but some people don't like it. Looking at a relationship with Nourish the Sacred Feminine, it's like there's great things about your relationship, and then there are things that aren't very good. And this is current, so you're currently in a relationship. Okay, let me get 2 more cards, or 3 more, and let me just get a big snapshot here, because this is a lot to take in. So let me flank this with some oracle cards and really take this in some chunks here, because we're gonna get this. Okay, we've got Rise, great. Prosperity sisters are happiness and joy. Well, that's always nice to hear. Okay. So I do think you guys have very much an element of the Lovers. I'm gonna, if this card's up here and then we've got it by the Daughter of Cups, I'm gonna say there is something very strong and solid about your relationship. And I like the Daughter of Cups. Okay, that I would say that you guys you're in sync. You probably get along very well. I think that you have a nice, sweet, genuine way of communicating. I think things can be very, very positive for you guys. And then I see this other side, and I think that there's also something going on that has a more treacherous aspect to it. Not that I think not to, overdo it, but I think there's something that is causing you, it's tiring you out. There's something that needs to like stop, because I think you're tired. And I do think that you're probably a little bit maybe overwhelmed or hoping that there's like an end game or a light at the end of the tunnel. And that's how I'm going to interpret the Tower, that I don't think things have crashed and burned yet, or else maybe you wouldn't be here. But maybe there's maybe this kind of like impending doom feeling. Whether there is an impending doom or not, that's not what I'm saying. But it might be that feeling of like, I mean, the writing might be on the wall in some regards. It doesn't mean your whole relationship's going to end, but maybe there's an aspect of it, the part that's tiring you out, that's causing you a little bit of like stress and overwhelm. Maybe that part needs, you need to address that. Nourish the sacred feminine, to me, I feel like what this is, I'm just trying to put it with a word. It's like, I think you bring there's a quality you bring to the relationship that I feel like is almost worshipped in a way. There's a part of you, and whether you're just really beautiful, maybe very like just feminine to look at, maybe there's a part of you that this person is like fiercely attracted to. I just think there's a part of you that your partner really, really, I just feel like worships in a way, or that he just appreciates, maybe gives nourishment and love and like notices this part of you. And I think you really like that. I get the impression that this is a very important part of your relationship. And I don't think this has anything to do with this. This is kind of like, I just think you're very much idolized, or idolized is a weird word, but you get what I'm trying to say here. And down here we've got, prosperity sisters are happiness and joy. Great. We want your relationship to prosper. That's the hope. That's probably why you're here. But there does have to be happiness and joy. And up here, there isn't necessarily happiness and joy surrounding this one little issue, which I don't know what it is. But there's, I'm seeing something to make me think it's not quite roses all the time. And with rise, which is interesting that it's under the birds, kind of like rising a little bit with wings flapping, I do think that this is going to confirm for me that you really do have a very strong union and bond, that when you do things right, when you work together, when you communicate well, things are very, very solid for you guys. And I think it's a reminder that you do need to really try to maintain this aspect of your relationship, because I think when things tend to go south, they can get very dark and heavy very quickly. And I don't know if this is because of a personality of yourself or your partner, maybe together, that you guys are a bit tumultuous. I'm not sure, but together, it seems like you are actually the lovers with a very sweet vibe about you. So we'll have to get a little bit more and what it looks like. And this is January. There's things, it's not like it's just next week or tomorrow. We've got a month ahead of us. Daughter of Wands and Seven of Cups, Five of Swords. So to see the Daughter of Cups and then the Daughter of Wands, getting back to, I had to take a small intermission. Getting back to this scene here, and I'm sorry if I don't pick up exactly where I left off. If I want to understand the Daughter of Wands, the Seven of Cups to me is a bit of like, there's a little bit of an illusion. There's a little bit of, this could be if it looks too good to be true, it is situation, or it could be like, I don't know, things aren't necessarily what they seem, or emotionally speaking, it could just be that you really, maybe like you just need to dig a little bit deeper. Like maybe, as far as communicating goes, scratch below the surface, get a little bit deeper. And with the Daughter of Cups, I mean, it's a sweet energy, but it is the youngest. If we're going to talk about communication, it's one of the youngest energies. So it might mean that you need a more like mature, real and like significant, lasting way of communicating. And I could even like, as I say this out loud, and sometimes this happens, I could say that what you really need to work on is your communication. And with that, I think this would give you a little more peace of mind, and it wouldn't cause this sense that things are just going to, in other words, I think your mind's running away with you. I think that this tower for me kind of represents your mind spinning. You're on a hamster wheel and you're thinking about scenarios that may or may not be good or bad, but you don't know because you haven't asked the right questions. And I'm going to take that another level with the Five of Swords. It's almost like you're just accepting a part of defeat without even talking. And this could be like if you think someone's unfaithful, you just think they're unfaithful. You don't have proof. You don't have anything except a thought. Maybe they are, maybe they're not. But until you ask directly, or until you present evidence and have a conversation about it, thinking that someone's unfaithful will drive you crazy. It will rob you of sleep. It will make you just want to destroy the relationship, and it makes you do things that are like, you go crazy a little bit. So I am getting that message that you absolutely need to communicate more. And although this is something that like you could say for every relationship, I'm getting it very strong with yours. And I don't want you to take this like self-defeating, because it will become a self-fulfilling prophecy. If you accept defeat before you've even had a conversation about what's actually going on, and that's the Seven of Cups, talk about what's actually going on. There's a huge thunderstorm, so I think it's fun, but it might sound a little bit loud. And the Daughter of Wands, I'm just going to say we put it under the Daughter of Cups. It tells me that although you guys really do, I think, have a strong union in a lot of ways, there are some less mature or less developed aspects of your relationship. And it's crazy. The Daughter of Wands is like the wands they can be passion, they can be intimacy, they can be inspiration. But there's this young energy that's going along with your relationship. And it's almost like not when you're stressed, but in general, there's like an enthusiasm about your relationship. However, you need to go from enthusiasm to like actual, what are you enthusiastic about? Like get down to the brass tacks or the nitty gritty. I feel like your relationship it's existing on a kind of surface plane, which makes me think that either if you've been together a significant amount of time, which is totally relative, that could be 3 months or 3 years. I definitely feel like there are like next steps that need to be taken as far as communication and just getting to know each other better. And so with the Rise, like with the Lovers, this would even if you have that great solid connection, it can always be better. Like elevate the Lovers a little bit. Take this to like the next step of being the Lovers. These two geese here, they mate for life. And I don't know that you guys want to mate for life, but at least talk about like, where you think things headed, where are they going, what's wrong, whatever is stressing you out or keeping you up at night or causing you to question this person's intentions or what they've done. You really, really need to address that and talk, because it will become quite frankly defeating. And that bums me out. I don't want that for anyone. So this is, okay, I'm getting a bit of a snapshot of your relationship. I want to know what you love about your relationship. I'm going to do 3 cards about what you love about it. Yeah. Okay. So, 6 of Cups, 3 of Wands, and I like this sly little devil, 7 of Swords, because we're asking what you love about it. So the 6 of Cups it's a kindness card. I call it the simple pleasures card. It's a card of there is a goodness there. There's like an innocent thread and kindness that runs through your relationship. And I see that. I don't see it everywhere, but I do see it here. And this person does really kind of have you on a pedestal in a way. There's something very beautiful and alluring to them, about you to them, which is nice, very sweet. But I think when you guys are together, I think you enjoy each other's company, point blank. I'm getting a very loud message that you've hashed through some of this bullshit because you really do have a very sweet, almost gentle connection. And I think that that your relationship, and probably not just seen by you, I do think it has legs. I think this is something that can go the distance. This is a card of foresight, of, looking out, contemplating next moves, next steps. And I see that for you. And I think that action, if you haven't taken it, maybe you've just started taking it, and by taking it, I mean talking about where you see this going, what are you doing right now? And my gut is you aren't talking about that, but you're thinking about it. And that you probably even feel that this relationship could be quite strong, but you absolutely have to talk about those things. So don't just think about where you want it to go or where it could go. Have those conversations. And for the 7 of Swords, if we're saying something you like about this, there's something sneaky about this card. It's kind of like, I don't know if it's like the having your cake and eating it too card. It's the tricky little devil card, and that does play to some of the lesser loved qualities of your relationship. But I think this just makes me think there's an edge to your relationship. It makes me think that you guys have a fun excitement. There's a bit of an excitement. There's a quality that keeps things fresh, keeps things, there's just, and not all relationships have this. Like, I have done plenty of readings where I see the relationships as like almost dull, but it serves the other person, but your relationship isn't dull at all. I think it's stable, but it's stable, and yet it's on shaky ground, and you do need to, solidify you need to answer a few questions, check a few boxes, and figure out a little bit about your future. But I do like that you both seem to enjoy a level of excitement that maybe wouldn't work for other couples, but you guys do. And I don't know what that means. That could mean different things for everyone, but I mean, it could just mean that maybe you guys really do trust each other, and you don't, you're not the couple that has to like nitpick every little detail or get every detail. Like, maybe your guy stares at his phone a lot and texts people and you don't know who they are, and you really aren't even worried about it. And I don't know, just like, it's that kind of, like, you're just not going to trip. I don't think you guys trip, and I think you kind of do your own thing, but without actually doing anything that's really wrong. Okay, I hope I didn't go down too much of a nonsense path there. Okay, I want to get actually I want to find out what's really quite beautiful about your relationship. So let me get 3 cards for that. Like, this is what you like about your relationship, but I want to know something really like touching and beautiful about it. Okay. So some of these pictures, I just could never make them out if I had to. This looks like a bug being eaten by a bug. This is the 9 of Swords, which is, a card of anxiety and nightmares. Mother of Pentacles, the Mother of Pentacles is very nurturing, very loving, almost codependent in a way, but there's that very much like nurturing element. And then we have the 8 of Wands, which is, what is the 8 of Wands? I have to think about this for a second. It's like, I guess travel, and I could take that for like excitement. I could take that for that would go back to the exciting element of your relationship, or that it's changing. It's not, I don't know, I don't think you're that couple that sits on the couch and watches Netflix every night. I think maybe one of you like could travel a lot for work, so the other one isn't even there. And then maybe that's the element of trust I'm talking about, where you're, you don't know exactly what they're doing, but you don't really ask, and it might make the other person feel like they're getting away with something because they're not talking about something, but then there's nothing even to talk about. Like, I don't know, I think you guys, either one travels a lot for work, one's gone a lot, one has something else that pulls them in another direction and takes up a lot of their time and energy. But I do think that I like seeing the Mother of Pentacles here, because it's an earth card, and it makes me imagine a relationship where two people are really, really connected to one another. And also there's that connection to a home. If you don't live together, you probably spend a lot of, when you are in the same town, or if whenever you're together, I think you guys spend a lot of time together whenever you can, let's put it that way. And maybe, maybe you're together for like 2 months and then someone's gone for a month or something like that, or someone works like crazy half the year, and then I don't know, but I do get a feeling that there's like a switching dynamic with you guys. But I really also get the impression that you really like each other's company. You really like each other's company. And as far as we have to make this a positive because it's what's lovely about your relationship. So I would say that in general, I think you guys have a fairly decent amount of trust. You have been stressed because maybe you have too much trust and you're not asking the questions that you want to ask. Like you do reach a point where even with all the trust in the world, you have to still establish, groundwork and ground rules. There still has to be, relationships change and evolve, and you have to have conversations regularly or ever so regularly about what does and doesn't work for you. Especially if you're, maybe if you've been married 10 years, maybe not, but I think if you're starting out and one person's away a lot or away part of the time, and then when they get back, there's like all these questions, but you need to talk about things. But in general, I do think you guys have a lot of trust for one another. And you don't hound each other for the details. You don't pry, you don't poke the bear. I think you very much have a very nice balance going. And so if I would say like your 2022 January reading for this relationship, which we're entitled Fluff, if this was the bed you picked, I don't know. It seems like it's not all fluff. I think there's something real here. I think there's something very substantial. I don't know. This might be a relationship where other people don't get it, or they might not think you guys are as serious as you are. But I do see that there is a very real connection between you two. I almost get the feeling that you do need to like amp it up to the next level. I don't see this as being a relationship you've been in for a very long time. And like I said, if you have, maybe you're spending so much time apart that you just haven't taken it to that next step. But I hope that you guys do, if that's what you want. And I'm actually going to do a time card on this. So I have this deck of moon cards. And so I'm going to pull a card. And if it's one of the like 3/4 of these cards, let's say I have a timestamp that I will use for the lunar calendar. If it's one of those, great. If not, great. Great. Either way, it's great. So I'm just going to ask, like, when, I don't know, and this will be for the month of January, when should you start to really get knee deep in some conversations? When should you start, like, having a conversation about what are we doing? Take this with a grain of salt. I always say, I don't want to tell you what to do in your relationship by any means. Okay, let's see. What is this? Okay, so this isn't actually a timestamp, and that happens sometimes, and so we will just take that for what it is. There is maybe no rush, or maybe you do this whenever you feel, or maybe your partner's out of town this month and it wouldn't even have worked anyway. I don't know, but your little word from spirit here is I explore my wildness and dance in pleasure. Moon god Dionysus. Dionysus. I'm sorry, I can't pronounce it. I know I've heard it a million times, and I don't think I'll pronounce it right. Dionysus. I explore my wildness and dance and pleasure. So I guess I just enjoy things. Enjoy things. Yeah. And don't be afraid to speak up. Have those conversations, do it and when it feels right, when the timing's right, and just enjoy the hell out of one another. And let me know if any of this makes sense for you, or if you've enjoyed it. I hope to hear from you. Please leave a comment. Thank you so much. Goodbye. Hello, this is Light and Bone Tarot. Thank you so much for being here. I am going to jump right in. This is your reading for January 2022, and it is entitled Your Current Relationship. So I'm assuming that you are in a relationship that you're inquiring about, and we'll see where that goes. You picked the picture that goes with the bed that goes with made. And we will see if that tracks at all. But really, I think it's just about being driven to the right pile with a picture that speaks to you for whatever reason. So, okay, I am going to put down an oracle card and flank it with a couple tarots just to get a picture of your relationship. I want to see your relationship, the good, the bad, the ugly, the beautiful. Let's see it. Celebrate your wins. Okay. I don't know what that means, but we'll see. Okay. So, I guess if we're going to see celebrate your wins here, I'm going to say it's here because it looks hard right now. And hard in a financial way, in something dealing with home, maybe with family, but I definitely see a little bit of struggle. So this would be a card of light conflict, not heavy conflict, not like, screaming at the top of your lungs, not kicking someone out. This is conflict. It can be like an healthy argument, or it can just be arguing a little bit too much. But there is a little bit of that going on. This can always escalate, but right now it seems like it can almost just be that of tension. But I say that because I'm getting a card of like, well, with the two pentacles, these aren't great pentacle cards in regards to like prosperity. This one would be like budgeting and like holding tight to your belongings, like a fear that you would be in lack if you didn't do this, a fear that you would lose something. Like just there's a fear behind this card, and it's this desire to hold on to something so strong and tight is driven by by a fear, quite frankly. Okay. And then for the 5 of Pentacles, which obviously comes right after the 4 of Pentacles, this is that of like basically poverty. So poverty is an extreme word to give to this, but I'm just going to say drought. Like this makes me think of, and I only say poverty because of the picture on the Rider-Waite-Smith deck, but there's many different ways to interpret that. But this looks like drought. It looks like there's a dry period. There's a dry spell. And because we have 2 pentacle cards with this, I'm going to say financially, there's some kind of tension. So maybe someone, you or your partner or someone close that affects the relationship, lost a job. Maybe money is going out, at a quicker rate than it's coming in. Maybe there's new expenses that have popped up that you just are stressing about. But I definitely get a feeling of there being an issue with money or work surrounding the home life, and it is causing conflict or just the beginning of conflict. Son of Swords, this is a card, I'll say it's a card of haste. It's a card of almost like rushing into things, maybe thinking you know everything, thinking you have the answers, not really wanting to listen, it's like thinking you're prepared for battle and you probably aren't, and you aren't taking the advice you need to take. And with that, I could think that maybe this card here is probably leading to the conflict more than anything else. I think this situation, would correct itself, or as a couple, the 2 of you would talk through it and work it out because these things come up. But this would be the most irritating card, if I have to say. So, I would say there's an energy of one of you. I don't think it's you, but I could be wrong. But I think there's an energy of someone being just not giving the time and attention. And there's a sense of impatience, and there's a sense of wanting, either someone did something hastily that caused this problem, or they're still acting hastily and the problem isn't correcting itself because someone is just not taking the right steps, not doing the right thing. And quite frankly, doing the wrong thing, or doing the one thing that would harm the situation or not repair it. And this is causing some conflict. Celebrate your wins. It does track here because as a couple, there are good things, you know, there still could be good things happening. It doesn't, every day good things can be happening, even around your finances. It's not like you guys are homeless. It's not like you're totally destitute. Like, there are things that are happening in other aspects of your life, but also as a couple surrounding this, that you do need to look back and say, like, okay, we've accomplished this, we've done this, look how far we got. This really isn't something that's gonna, it'll pass, basically. I definitely feel that it will pass, but you're in it right now. Let's get I want another snapshot of your current relationship. Okay, so we've got the Magician, the Father of Cups, great card, and the Wheel of Fortune. Very, well, two majors and then two majors flanking the Father of Cups. So let's start with the Father of Cups, which would also be the King of Cups. This is, there's a lot of control in this card. There's a lot of, so this is your relationship. It's a situation where I feel like, in general, I do think that your relationship has a good communication. I do think you're a couple that can get through things. I think you've been through things before and you know you can do this. I guess that's kind of, maybe that's the hopeful message that I see behind this card. Like, oh, you guys actually, you can do this. You've got this. And if I look at your relationship and I take the Magician and the Wheel of Fortune, I think you guys have seen quite a few shitstorms for whatever reason, and they've hashed out, maybe just barely, but they work themselves out. And I think they work themselves out because together you guys have a Father of Cups energy where you have a emotionally self-controlled way of dealing with things. I think you approach things very logically. I think you talk things through, and I think that you don't go crazy. You didn't fly off the handle or break up with this person or, you know, throw plates and glasses when maybe shit hit the fan. You were probably, both of you were like, okay, how are we going to handle this? How are we going to approach this? What do we do from here? I think it's that approach to anything that's problematic or has come up and been a problem. I think you really have that mastered, and you've definitely made things happen. I think you have taken situations where things were shitty and you've turned them around. So I don't know why I say situations. Like, I feel like you find yourself in these problematic situations. I don't know if it's one of your guys' career, maybe like experiences more highs and lows financially, or there's more risk involved. So sometimes things are great, something like that. Maybe you're starting out a new business venture of sorts together or individually, and I don't know, you're relying on other people, but there's something where I feel like there's been a lot of highs and lows that you guys have, you know, ridden out together. Yeah, and it's like it's almost out of your control in a way. It is just the nature of the beast, whether it's just, career, life, family. There's something that it's just beyond your control. But it does take attacks fiscally, but you guys handle it. I think the money is probably there. I think you work hard and make good money as a couple together. Maybe one of you makes the majority and the other person manages the household. But I think it's there. I just think maybe you're one of those couples where just because you're arguing about money doesn't mean you don't have it. It just means that you need to talk about it a little bit more. So yeah, a lot to me around highs and lows with wins and losses, and how you're going to manage those. I don't know why MAD would play into this, but I do know that you picked the right pile if you picked this one. So we're going to go on that. I want to know what you really love about your relationship. So I'm going to put down an oracle card, and then I'm going to get to tarot cards. So this is what you love. Fall in love with your own story. And we've got 8 of Pentacles and 10 of Wands. I don't see this one very often, but it's a great, great card. Or no, pardon me. I'm so sorry. I was thinking 10 of Wands. Yeah, no, I was thinking of something else. Yeah, 10 of Wands is it's kind of like a card of burden. It's like pushing a giant crate up a hill, and it's not easy. But this is something you love about your relationship, so there's no negativity here. Not in this line. It really is a positive. I fall in love with your story. I think you guys, there's something very unique about what you do as a couple, how you make it work, what your day-to-day looks like. So I think that this works for you. It works for both of you, and you love this. Whatever you're doing, I don't think you could do it, either one of you, with anyone else. So you're with your person and you are getting through it. But yeah, it's a very, you guys have a very unique situation, unique story, unique circumstances, but it does work. And so if I'm going to say burden, I'll take this literally, but not bad. Your relationship does carry a weight, and it goes back to what I just said. There's definitely an element to it that isn't for everyone, but it works, and it probably brings you guys closer. It probably, I think it just bonds you guys further. And for the Eight of Pentacles, it's also a card of like putting work in and patiently waiting to see the fruits of your labor. So I think both of you are probably, if you aren't both working very hard to accomplish something in a that would ultimately bring in money or success or prosperity, if it's not both of you doing that, then the one that is, and the one that isn't, like I said, is very much managing the household, or probably overseeing the finances, or really I'll say managing the household, and that can take everything into account, but it is a team structure and unit that I think both of you guys recognize. I don't think there's any question that you both have a very hard, challenging, taxing role, but it works for you. It works for both of you, and I think you really like it. Yeah, so let's see. I want to know a little bit about your partner. I asked, so I'll do it. Let's find out a little bit about your partner. Okay. Make a mission statement for your soul. 9 of Wands. And the Sun. Okay, so this doesn't surprise me. So I think your partner is highly driven, highly motivated, and gets a lot of reward or success as a result of that. And when I see make a mission statement for your soul, I think this is someone who wakes up every day and knows exactly what they're doing. They have an agenda, they have checklists, they have Post-its, they have mantras, they have everything. I think they're very much in tune and very much like checked in. Probably a bit no nonsense when it comes to this, because there's a structure here that both of you, quite frankly, have built together. So yeah, and talking about your partner, the 9 of Wands is, it's hard work. There's a bit of, it's like a resilience, and that builds up to the burden, which is this here. There's, it goes 9, 10. So it's this very much, you do have to be resilient to live this every day, and to constantly be in these trenches that you find exciting and wonderful. So yeah, that's definitely something that thrills and interests your partner, and probably you in return. But to see the Sun, it's all good. It's positive. This is literally like your partner is a life force in this, or both of you, but I'm asking about your partner now, and I got the Sun. So I think very much there's like this, just this light, and this light, like this heat, this energy, this, they're probably very charismatic. They're probably, whatever they are, and they're perfect for you. I'm just getting a very strong, like, you guys you really click, you're really in sync, you work together, you work well together. And I think you very much adore / very much love and respect. It's more of like a respect, actually, and admire your partner. And I would absolutely say vice versa, very, very much vice versa. I feel like there's a ride or die kind of energy to this. So I could, I'll keep going a little bit. I'll do 3 more. Let me get, I don't know. I'm always hesitant of what I ask. All right, I'm going to ask something to look forward to in January, because this is about January. So I'm going to do one my gosh, oracle card, and then I'm going to flank it with some tarots, and this will be like your, yeah, what's coming up in January? Okay, Ace of Pentacles, Feed Your Artist, and the Three of Pentacles. So this is very much creation and more working together, more building, more achieving. It is literally more building, achieving, and creating. There's almost nothing, there's not much more to say about that. Feed Your Artist. I don't know. I couldn't even begin to speculate what line of work you're in, but there is something where you either are part of helping to create something, which I guess is so utterly vague, it could be anything, or maybe you are actually creating something. I thought at first that someone was like maybe a, attorney or high-powered attorney or something like that, which would be so specific. The amount of people watching this that are either themselves or dating a high-powered attorney is probably pretty slim. But whatever it is, there's sort of like it's your own art form, and that could absolutely track to so many professions. But Feed Your Artist is like you're accomplishing things this month, and I love to see that. I'm gonna ask for a time card here, because I'm gonna say maybe you're waiting on something. Maybe up here, well, you're waiting on something to come through. There's some finance or some check or something that needs to close, some project, something needs to happen that you need to see happen. So I'm going to just give you hope for January, because this is definitely hopeful about what's coming up in January. There's definitely things are coming into fruition, things are being built, things are being accomplished, and like the patience that you've put into this is you're going to see this in January. When are you going to see this? There might be a time stamp on this, there might not. So let's see. Okay, there's not on this one. I would say 3/4 of these have them and 1/4 doesn't. But I know my shadow side, and I work to willingly transform aspects of it. Moon goddess Hecate. I need to learn how to pronounce the moon goddesses. I know my shadow side, and I work willingly. And I work to willingly transfer. That's funny. I was just reading about or listening to a podcast on shadow work. What can we take away from this? Because this is supposed to be like an encouraging takeaway for you. I don't know. Maybe, Some of Swords, which I didn't think was you, but maybe there's that haste that really needs to be addressed, that little bit of ego. Maybe patience is another part of this that you just need to keep working on, although it seems like you definitely have it. But I would say, don't ever not have patience. I don't know what your shadow side is. You seem to, whatever it is, you guys definitely have a lot of balance, and I really respect that. But yeah, I know my shadow side, and I work willingly. This tells me you know your shadow side. So whatever it is, I don't know what it is, but keep working at it, because it's helping you guys function very lovely and brilliantly as a couple. And this little bit of conflict, you're going to get over this once this hashes out in January, which it will. So keep high spirits. We are in January officially. So I hope that you have happy endings this month. I'm certain that you will. But thank you so much for listening. Let me know if you have any comments or what you thought about this. I would love to hear it. Thank you so much. Bye. Hello, this is Light and Bone Tarot. Thank you so much for listening. We are doing a reading for January 2022. It's the first today, so very exciting. Happy New Year. And this is your current relationship. So I want to know what's in store for you January 2022 in your current relationship. You picked View, which is like staring at the bed. I don't know why you picked it, but I think if you pick it brought you to this reading for a reason. So with that, let's just get right into it and find out why you're here. And I'm going to do an oracle card, and I'm going to flank it by a couple tarots, and we're going to get an idea of your current relationship, like a little bit of a snapshot of it. So we've got You Are Light, Great positive way to start off. Absolutely. Oh my goodness. The sun. I mean, that's light right there. The Hermit, there's definitely a light there. It's an internal light, but a light all the same. That doesn't look like light. And the Daughter of Cups. Okay. So if we look to the right and you are light, okay, I'm just going to do this. So the sun is almost obvious. It's this beautiful light, warmth, light-giving energy, or life-giving force. It's everything, right? We wouldn't be able to survive without it. And it's almost this like worship, you know? So if I'm asking about your relationship, I see this as you, and sometimes things just come to me. So in the relationship, because I saw you are light, and I don't know, and then I pulled over these two cards, and I feel like you're the Sun and the Hermit. And I think you are probably a crazy mix of both. You're right in the middle. You can be very introverted, but also very like in tune. You go into maybe these, like you go within yourself, whether it's most of the time or whether it's when you know you need a little like respite, a little time to just like turn off, unplug. But it can go on for months, weeks. It's your reset button. So I do think that you have that Hermit energy. And to say you are light, there is a lot of the Hermit card. You wouldn't be able to describe it properly without talking about this kind of like internal, it's your internal guidance. It's the light that guides you, and hence the lamp on top of the tortoise. So, and then to have the sun, that's like kind of the opposite of the Hermit. It's like out, it's bright, it's for everyone to see, it's for everyone to just bask in. Whereas the Hermit is it's about you. It's very internal, but also intentional. The Hermit has like a almost like spiritual side to it, where you are, like there's like that looking within, like you're doing this so you can learn about yourself, so you can soul search a little, some positive solitude. Then over here we have Daughter of Cups and, oh God, the Ten of Swords. This is a card of endings and defeat, if this picture didn't paint it enough. And then Daughter of Cups is a sweet, ever so slightly immature card, but still it makes me think that there's like an attempt to really be in tune, and an attempt to communicate, know one another, to find yourself syncing up, but just doing it in a way where there's still so much more that needs to happen. But it is that like first attempt to really make that effort. I am trying to understand what this side of your relationship is. Maybe, I don't know. I don't want to say, I mean, if you're here because I believe you're in a relationship, either it just ended, or you're maybe taking a little bit of a break and that's why you're here, or some aspect of it, or it's not doing that great. And it might have something to do with, like, for whatever reason, you guys are just off right now. Maybe you're in a period of looking within, and maybe you're not quite communicating as much. Maybe you're shutting down, turning off, pulling away. But it makes me think that like whatever is happening, I think both of you're both kind of pulling away. And I think the part of you that is usually so much in sync, and that synchronicity between you is lacking right now. So I don't think you're the Sun right now. I think you're more of a Hermit right now. But I think it's up to you. The onus would be on you to kind of right the wrong, whatever that means. So I do think that for whatever reason, you might have pushed this person into a darker state, or into maybe this person's contemplating ending the relationship. If it's not over, maybe there was a threat of it. Maybe they're thinking about it, or they've told you this isn't working, or whatever. But I think it's because they're hurt. I don't think it's because they're just over you and don't want to be with you. I think they're hurt somehow. And I just don't think you guys have lined up. And maybe you're in a little bit of a funk right now, and doing your own thing. And the Hermit doesn't really imply that you're in a funk. It just might look like a funk to someone else. because I know I'm coming out of a hermit stage, and I'm sure everyone thought I was like depressed and funky, but really I was just taking time to focus on my work and get things done, and just really resetting and putting all my energy and resources into myself. That's one thing I get out of the hermit, whereas obviously the sun's the opposite of that. And I think this person really likes you as the sun and the light. So when you're not, it might just cause this person to be a little stressed, which means they might invest a lot of stock in you being almost like a savior of sorts, when that, that's not always your responsibility. Okay, so I'm going to get another bit about your current relationship. Tell me a little bit else about it, because we need more. Okay, Daughter of Pentacles, Two of Wands, and then we've got the Eight of Swords. So, okay, Two of Wands, it's basically a decision. They're a choice, options to weigh. This is a card of almost like isolation, of almost feeling trapped or stuck. You're not actually, but there is a sense of that. And I'm not saying I'm just speaking out loud to what the card is. I'm not pinning that on your relationship just now. And Daughter of Pentacles, this is a sweet card. This would give me hope. If I see this card, I think like, okay, you have a very nurturing, there's a sweetness to you. You are both trying. You have more than just communicating. There's a bond. You guys are definitely bonded. This isn't the strongest bond. It's not the King of Pentacles, but it's almost like that genuine effort that, I don't know, it's more that it's like almost like it's part olive branch and part like, the beginnings of a really, really long-term, stable, beautiful relationship. Like that's what I get out of this. So if I see your relationship right now, I would say maybe you are kind of backpedaling from the Hermit, and you're trying to do the Daughter of Pentacles dance, where you're trying to really, shine your light. You just can't, you're not the sun right now. You can't do that. It's quite frankly, it's too much energy and it's not the right place for it. But maybe you're taking another approach where you're just saying like, look, I really want to be with you. Let's spend more time together. Let's maybe, I don't know, go hiking together and go camping together. Not a mass. This isn't a card of like opulence or anything, but it's a card of like, just being together, like establishing the beginnings of a foundation together, like getting back to those kinds of basics. I like that. Like there's definitely an attempt being made. And within your relationship, I do, when I think of choice and I think of isolation, I think it does seem like you're on the edge. Something about your relationships makes me think like either one person in particular is thinking more heavily about, is this the right relationship? Should I leave? Is it, you guys are going through something right now. And I mean, I don't know it's funny because this is the picture of the bed that you're like staring at it from a distance. And it's almost like you're looking at your relationship, like, what do I do? Like there really is kind of a decision, or what is that person going to do? I just have to watch and wait and see what they do. But believe it or not, you really do hold the most power in this relationship. I think you could, if you really wanted this, you could steer the course. You could course correct, and win this person over, or really just show them the light. You can literally show them the light. Like there's nothing more to say. It could absolutely be done if that was something you wanted. But right now you're making efforts, but it's kind of an icky time. I think that there's tension. There's a bit of a standoff. You guys are both probably feeling isolated. And I do think that this other person is they're thinking of they have a choice to make. They're thinking, do I stay with this person? Do I stay in this relationship, or do I leave? Is it the right relationship for me? I think they really like you and care about you. I really do. However, it is annoying that they don't seem to have more confidence or more ability to reach out and communicate this to them. Why it falls on you, I'm not sure, but it seems like it does. I don't know if you've just always played that role, or if you're just the stronger communicator. I don't know, but yeah, for some reason it does seem like this is your cross to bear somehow. I want to get a little bit about you. Let me get a picture of you. I'm going to put you here like this, and I'm going to give you 2 cards because I want to know just a little bit about you. Okay, so great cards. Creator alchemy. It seems like it should be creator of alchemy, but I'm just basically going to call it the creator of alchemy. And, you know, to put this under the sun, which is fire, which is one of the elements, or not necessarily an element, but in the world of alchemy, fire is I think it's one of their elements. It's like fire, water, air, earth, wind, you know, those things, sulfur. And I'm probably wrong. Feel free to correct me if I'm wrong. And you give me my first comment. Okay, Mother of Wands. If this is you, you are the protector. You are like, I just think the Mother of Wands, it's like, it's someone you don't cross. You literally don't fuck with her. We know this mother. She's very cool. She's very fun to be around. She's very dynamic. And then but you don't cross her. And I think it's funny because I wouldn't peg the Hermit for that. I could peg the Sun for that, but not the Hermit. But I do think that maybe you do have this, like, there's a control to you. There's a badass quality to you that your person loves and respects. And just maybe that's why you're the driver in this relationship, because quite frankly, that's just the role you play everywhere. You create the fire, you create, you know, the water, you create whatever mood or emotion needs to be created or tempered or amped up. I feel like you're really the driver of that. I don't know that you love this, but it is who you are. But then with the 7 of Pentacles, I'm going to say you do this because you're making that investment in the relationship. You're putting all this energy into it because you really do. I think you want something here. I think there's something about this that you really want. You have to make sure you really want it. Is this really where you want to put your energy? Because it does take energy from you. But I do get the impression that you want it. And if you're here, I think I think it's something you want. I think to me, there's a sense of something being off balance. You guys could work through that, but there's a lot that falls on you. Okay, let me get I'm just going to say your guy. It might be your girl. But, so either way, it doesn't change the reading whatsoever. Okay, let's get your person here. Inflow with money. Okay, not bad. I'll take that. Okay, the Magician and Mother of Swords. Interesting. Okay, this is your dude. We've got inflow with money. I don't want to say that I don't see him as a hard worker, because that's just a very weird thing to say. I don't know. And I've done so many readings where I'm like, I feel like your person kind of is independently wealthy or is a trust fund kid, which is like such a like antiquated term. Because what does that even mean anymore? Does it mean their like parents have billions of dollars, or their parents are just middle class and spoil them? Like, it can mean so many things. But inflow with money actually makes me think that they're like working hard. I just don't think money's a problem. I'm just going to take this card. I don't see money being a problem. And I think your person probably has plenty of it for whatever reason. I don't know. It could be because they're brilliant and work their asses off. And this is why everything else falls on you, because they're just working so hard. They can't even be taxed with some of these things. But whatever it is, I still feel like they look up to you in a way and look towards you for like as a guiding source. So if they were so brilliant, why couldn't they do some of this like communication and initiation on their own, which I don't see them really doing. Or yeah, it could be because you're maybe so bossy or so outspoken that it doesn't even give them a chance to. I don't know. But if I see them as the Magician and the Mother of Swords, you know, I haven't given them enough credit. Okay. They have a cleverness to them. They definitely have a craftiness to them. They have the ability to speak up. They have the thoughts. They have the intellect. For whatever reason, they default to you. I'm not sure why. And it seems like they actually keep things to themselves. Like you almost have to pull things out of them. Although there may be some earnest efforts made to communicate, I feel like when it comes down to like really talking about things, I feel like you're pulling it out of them. However, if they're the Mother of Swords, they're astute. They might be more of an observer than an actual partaker when it comes to talking, and yeah, they might just be more of a thinker and more of a contemplator, whereas you are, I do think you're the talker. I think you're the like, you're fun. I've got girlfriends like you and I love them. They are they're dominating, they're fireballs, but they're also like, they're so good. Yeah, I get your energy, and I actually get your person's energy, but I will say I've underplayed them. Because the musician, but there's something like, they're like this, there's something stealth about them. Like the power that they hold, I think they know it, but it's not the card they play very often, or they keep it tight. And I know I'm speaking in weird metaphors, but I get the impression they are very capable and probably even cunning in a way. Like they're always, without expressing that they're a step ahead, they're always there. Like they're not, how do I say this? They're relying on you, but they don't actually need you. And if that, as harsh as that might say, so that's why I'm going to say it is annoying to me that they're relying on you so much, because they have all the faculty to step it up just a little bit more. But for whatever reason, whatever's going on right now, you are, like I said, this is your cross to bear. You have to fix it. You have to start the conversation. But maybe this is all happening because you are a little bit fed up with them not bringing more to the table when they clearly have it. Yeah, and I don't know, I think I'd have to go a lot deeper with cards, and I'd get off the topic if I tried to figure out more about that. You can always ask me, and I don't know if I can ever get back to this because it's feels like a one-time thing, but I don't know. I'd love to hear if any of this is tracking. Let's get something really nice about your relationship. What's something really beautiful about your relationship? And then we're going to try to figure out some time cards for January. Beautiful about your relationship. Okay, 10 of Cups is it. I mean, that's the beautiful relationship card. You couldn't ask for better. This is like marriage, love, everything is just perfect, beautiful endings. It's a great card. And Six of Pentacles. The 9s and 6s I always almost have to count the card. It drives me crazy. The Six of Pentacles is like it's a kind person. There's an element of charity, of giving. So yeah, I think your relationship I do think there's a lot of warmth there. I do think there's a lot of care. I would say that I actually can see it coming from this person slightly more emotional, although I think they hold back a lot. I don't think they show their I don't think they show their emotions near as much as they should. And I think you show your emotions, but it comes through in a much more fiery, almost spitfire, somewhat abrasive way. But that's fine because for some reason you're the only one doing most of the talking, it seems like. But you are, you're very capable. This is your element. Okay, beautiful about your relationship. I do think it can go places. I do think there's great potential there. I think there's a sweetness and a kindness to you guys. I think you really do care about one another. I think you care about other people in general. I just think you're two very good people. You have good qualities. And for the Tower, how would I give this a positive spin? Because I don't even think it's a negative. I'm just trying to think what I would even say for it. Like, how would I incorporate it? I don't know. Like, I would just say you guys can, I don't know, maybe like ebb and flow. You can get through some shit when things happen, when, I don't know, shit hits the fan. You bounce back. Like, maybe there's almost a sense of resiliency here. I would say that you guys are very good at working through things. even though you might not actually be working through anything, but things just seem to hash out the way they should. But for whatever reason, I'm going to take this in an opposite and say your relationship hasn't crashed and burned. I think you might be close. You're going to have to figure some stuff out. But I think you've done a pretty good job of keeping it together and being together and keeping each other pretty happy. Yeah, you guys have a unique thing going on here. Let me give you a good luck charm from Spirit. I'm going to give you a good luck charm and a word of warning. These are fun for me. Cut the cords of doubt. That's your good luck charm. And then we'll give you a word of warning, raw intention. So for good luck charm, cut the cords of doubt. Okay, I mean, that's obvious. Like, if you're having negative thoughts, maybe you should just tell this to your partner, that he should cut his cords of doubt, or they should, because I feel like you're the one bringing all the positive vibes. I do think your person's positive. I just think you're the one that really brings those vibes, and they just kind of ride on the warm, fuzzy coattails that you bring to the relationship. But I do like them. I think your partner's good, even though I've made them seem like such a wimp. They're not. They're a good person, even if they are a little wimpy. Cut the cords of doubt. Okay, great. And then, you know what, everything I'm saying, maybe you need to cut every nasty thing I just said out of this reading. And maybe I was just giving fuel to your fire that doesn't even belong there. And this is just, again, a reminder of like, stop thinking about it like that. Like, this is your dynamic and it works. Like, stop dwelling on those things. Raw intention. What was this? Like a word of warning. Yeah, what's your intention? What do you want? Maybe you've been holding back. You know, maybe you have given too much and it's taken too much of you, and you really do need to work on like just expressing what works and what doesn't, and what your intentions are. Not only from like a long-term relationship standpoint, but just in general. Like, you want to be happy, you want to feel fulfilled, you want to feel like you don't have energy, you don't want to feel like you always have to be the one to communicate a problem, or the onus isn't always on you to like set the tone. Those kinds of intentions, like little things, little irks that you have, talk about those and let your partner know that isn't working for you. Okay, I will stop this here because I think I've said enough about this. I hope it was enjoyable. I hope you liked it. And, you know, if you want to be my first and only comment on it, I dare you. I mean, that would be awesome. Okay, thank you so much. Have a great night and Happy New Year. Bye. Hello, thank you so much for being here. This is Light and Bone Tarot. Happy New Year. It's the 1st of January, and I'm going to kick off the new year with some very specific January 2022 readings. And this one is your current relationship. So we're going to figure out for this January where your relationship stands, what's going on, what to look forward to. Okay, I am going to do what I did for the last readings because I really liked it. It was a fun way of starting things off. So I'm going to pull an oracle card and then flank it with 2 tarots and just get an idea, like a view of your current relationship. Okay, so we've got manifesting and doing. So I guess that's like a lot of intention there. Maybe you are really working on things currently. We've got Daughter of Pentacles, which has come up in literally every single reading we've had today. Father of Pentacles and Ace of Cups. You know, it's interesting because I was going to say, as I was laying these cards out, I was going to switch my reading and say, oh my gosh, can I tell you one more time what I was going to say? That you were to the right was going to represent you, and to the left was going to represent your partner. And I'm actually going to go with that just because I thought about that, and then I see this, and I'm just going to keep that. Okay, so if you're the Daughter of Pentacles, I'm going to, oh my gosh, this is a very sweet, there's a sweet energy here. I would say that you are grounded. There is a kindness here. And by kind, it's not just because there's a little doe or fawn on the card. It's because it's an earth card. It's someone who wants to get connected to earth, who wants to connect to people, who wants to tune in with Mother Nature. This is the beginning of the suit of pentacles. And it just makes me think of like, there's a newness around either like success or just finding your place in your family, in your home. So there's an earnest there to want to kind of do the right thing and build something and grow and grow. An earnest to really want to grow and succeed. 5 of Wands is basically a little bit of strife, but not horrible. It's just ever so slightly conflict, just a little maybe argument, which is in contrast to this sweet little card, but maybe you're torn right now between having this Daughter of Pentacles energy, which is gentle and earnest and kind, but maybe there's something irking you that is causing you to be a little more combative than usual. Just ever so slightly that energy coming in where maybe there, and this could be for a reason, something could be coming up that is making you feel like you need to express yourself a little bit more, argue a little bit more, bring up harp. It's like a poke the bear kind of energy. And so then manifesting and doing is like, why is this here? I don't know. This is your Oracle card. I would say both of you are making a conscious effort to put the right thing into this relationship. I actually do think that. And then for your partner, Ace of Cups and Father of Pentacles, this is someone who's going places. This is someone I want to date. This is a very strong, mature, knows themselves, grounded, secure, confident individual. Someone who is not out to prove themselves necessarily, but just someone who accomplishes things, who gets things done. I do think they want to prove themselves, but it's not like, what I mean is they don't have to have the last word. It's not that like sword energy where they have to win the mental battle or they have to always one up you with saying something. The Father of Pentacles is a very confident, good energy. And then to be the Ace of Cups, it's like, oh wow, well, what potential, basically. And the Ace of Cups is also someone who I think is who likes love, who can really nurture and love, who can seek out a relationship. I get a romantic vibe from this layout. So if this is your partner, I would say they're very much into you, and I would say they're very much a catch. You are probably just as much of a catch, but you're just a little more timid, a little more awkward. They, I think, are just more mature than you. Maybe they're older, or they've just been through more. They have different life experiences that make them more confident. You don't quite have that confidence. And I do think that maybe there's a part of you that's a little insecure. So it's making you, that nervous energy is coming out in ways that are, just unattractive. But, the part of us that, I don't know, answers a question with a question, or, you get it. It's just every relationship is different, but just a little quarrelsome, a little irritating. Okay, let me get another idea of your relationship. And this is your relationship, because that was you guys together. Now I want your actual relationship. The World, we've got Temperance, that's great. Sly Little Fox, 7 of Wands, Swords. Okay, I do think, as unbalanced as up here you guys seem, I do believe there is a balance to you guys. I think you may have been together longer than I thought. I do think you know each other quite well. Maybe you've been friends for a while. Maybe you've known each other for a while. I don't get the feeling that you guys just met. Maybe you're new to be dating, whereas you've known each other for a while, and that's part of this ground you're trying to break, or like you're just, things don't seem, I just get an insecurity or a nervous quality from you. And it's not just because of the deer. It's that I feel like you're nubile, you're questioning things, you're unsure of things, and this person definitely has an upper hand, which although they seem wonderful, and I'm sure they are, that can be a little bit intimidating. But with the Temperance, if this is your guys' relationship, which it is, because that's what I asked before I put it down, I do think that both of you are constantly trying to either like reassess it and find like a homeostasis with it, which is a positive thing. I think you both are working on to like partly protect it and partly nurture it. And just if something is off, you're going to find what you need to give and take, where that give and take is, and what it needs. You know, does it need more attention here? Does it need less time here? And do you need to spend, you know, more time solving problems, or do you need to have more time talking and having fun? Like what is needed? But I do think that this is addressed and taken care of. And with the World, you know, it's funny, this is like accomplishments, completions, things coming full circle. This also makes me think you guys have known each other for a while. Like you're just taking in new cycles, you're getting to know each other in different ways. And, you know, maybe like you just learned one thing about each other that you didn't know, and you're taking that into your relationship, and now it's time for the new like growth pattern. I just feel like you're discovering new things about each other, but in an exciting way, but also not in a completely lighthearted way. There's a bit of there's something very intentional about this. Like, I don't know. It's almost like this isn't it because it's very specific, but like coworker or family set you up and you guys really do like each other, but now you're also trying to make it work because there's just that little bit of extra energy pushing you towards that. Like it's that feeling like you are trying not overly hard, but oh, my grammar today has been horrible. I don't know why I'm saying these things, but you're putting an extra effort into it for reasons I'm not exactly sure why. Although to say you guys both probably really do want to make it work. But yeah, this person might be trying to win you over. They might be working harder. They might like you more than you like them. And they're working very hard to hold on to you. And that might be part of the nervousness too. Maybe you're not entirely certain if this is the right person for you or where you want to be. And then, so this sly little fox, the Seven of Swords, for your relationship, I wouldn't say there's secrets, but this makes me think that like, although you know each other quite well, there's still a lot you don't know. This almost is like a warning, like there are still things you don't know, and things that would make you unsure. There's not, not everything is on the table yet. Maybe it's just a reminder that you are still going through these cycles and getting to know each other, but you're not coasting yet, which you already know. But there's some, this is definitely a heads up about that. And maybe it's something that this person, it might be their energy. They might be the one that has a little bit more, like I said, that they're bringing to the table in, I don't know, different ways. But it makes them, you haven't heard all of their story. They have a lot more to tell, a lot more background, a lot more history. And I do think you want to know it. And I think you would like them more and you'd be more relaxed when you just felt like you got to know them a little bit better. And that would be one more cycle. But if I look at this card, I think you guys will get there. You will open up. You will talk about these things. If this is what you want, if you stay in this relationship and you don't, rock the boat too much, which it's fine if you do, because you're welcome to do that. You're within your own, oh my gosh, what's the word? Yeah, if you want to do that, then you absolutely should. But I'm just saying that, what am I saying? I don't know. Okay, so I want to get a little picture of you other than a little doe, those little doe eyes, those little spots. All right, let me see who you are. We're going to do an oracle, creator of earth, which is like another hard earth sign like that. You're earthy. I don't know if you're an earth sign in your astrology, but that would make sense. Okay, so if you're the high priestess, wow, you've got some secrets too. And Six of Pentacles, I think you're sweet. I think you put other people first a lot of the time. I think you're probably, a true empath. I definitely think you are conscious of not wanting to hurt anyone, and yeah, not wanting to step on any toes. But I'll tell you, the high priestess, you have some secrets too, actually, and you might come off as being a little more timid than you actually are. I wouldn't be surprised if you have a fierceness in you it's almost like there's this confidence in you that's lacking for whatever reason, but to see the high priestess, it's like you have an intuition, let's put it that way. You have a lot of knowledge wrapped up in your gut and your intuition, and if you were to play this card just a little bit more, you would not only very much impress this person, but you would make them like, they'd step back. They'd they look at you with like a fresh set of eyes and be like, oh wow, she or he or they are even more than I thought they were, in a very good way. But I want to see more of this energy from you and less of the Daughter of Pentacles. Because the High Priestess she's fierce and she knows a lot. Whether or not she's been through it, she knows it. And I don't know why or how you have this little knowledge bank. But if you ever felt like you had something to prove or you had to like step up in a way, you absolutely have the tools to do that. And yet you're still quite sweet. But I'm going to take this as an empath card, actually, where you really, if you're holding back on the High Priestess, you're doing it because you don't want to offend anyone. You don't want to hurt anyone. You don't want to rush anything. You're taking in everyone's emotions, everyone's situation, but you are ignoring a little bit of your own, let's say, wants or needs. And Creator of Earth, I do think that you're very conscientious. But this Earth energy is strong, and this is a Father of Pentacles. This is Earth energy, and so is the Daughter of Pentacles. So I think you will come much more into this, and you'll get your confidence. You'll find your stable ground. You'll feel grounded, confident, secure. It's definitely coming. So yeah, I want you to know that. Yeah, this is interesting. I'm really curious if this would have any accuracy. I want to get, I'm going to ask a question. I'm going to do the same for your partner. I want to know a little bit about them. So let me put this for your partner, and I'm going to do, oh my gosh. Well, you know what? I will do that because that came up. I just did it in a funny way. I feel like you always have to go with whatever comes up. Okay, so fall in love with your own story. I do think they have if they don't have an ego, it's like they can't help but have one. There's definitely something powerful and commanding about them. I think they're successful. I think they're very confident, very self-assured. I don't think they're asking for a lot of advice. And when they do speak up, when they do have an idea, when they do want to talk or express something, it is with they're secure in their words, their thoughts, their timing. So I fall in love with your own story. Yeah. And I think they're going places. I think they're not just floating. They're very intentional and they like where they're going and they don't want anyone to mess with that. No one's going to get between them and where they're going. You're not, which also might be why you're treading so gently, because you just don't know how much give and take this person's willing to accept or how much push and pull. I think you're testing the waters. And I don't even know if they know that you're doing that. They'd probably be very impressed if they knew the extent to which you're just over analyzing everything. Not that that's a good quality, but I think they just think you're more insecure, where actually now the more I see this, you're just analyzing. You are making sure that you probably A, want this, but B, that it's right for you, and that if you go about it, you're going to go about it right. And yeah, okay. A 5 of Cups for your partner. It's a card of loss and sadness, a little wallow. So they do have a history. They do have a past. Maybe they have a divorce. some kind of loss was there. I don't think that they might be a little affected. They might have a wall up a little bit still, which might also make things difficult for you. You're not exactly sure of your timing. And yeah, Four of Swords further instills this. This is a card of rest, recovery, like recuperation. And it makes me think that they have something they're dealing with, which if I called you an empath, it might be because you sense, or through conversation with them or through their past, because you've been friends for a while, they've been through something, they've got a story, a history, or that they've experienced something that is still kind of shaping the person they are. And I think, I wouldn't say they're difficult, but I do see more of like a wall up, that they are maybe blocking, and it might be frustrating for you. They might be making communication with them hard right now. But yet I do see that you guys, you tackle these things, you work through it, you're working through it together. It does take a little time, and it definitely takes work and getting to know one another. This is an interesting dynamic, and I've made it seem like it isn't the healthiest dynamic, but I don't get that it's unhealthy. I don't think there's anything toxic or controlling or like commanding about this relationship. I just think it's a very interesting dynamic. Let's put it that way. I think that there's definitely a backstory. If I had to get as absolutely specific as possible, I would say you guys knew each other. Maybe you were coworkers in one capacity or another, friends of the family, friends of friends. I don't know. I just feel like one of you is older than the other, more mature, more experienced. But you're not as silly and innocent as young. And I don't actually mean silly. You're not as like naive, let's say, as this card implies. You definitely have some depth to you, and you definitely have, I don't know that you have a whole lot of grit, but you have knowledge. You have a little bit of an edge. And this person is actually quite good, but a little difficult right now. And, we're not going to read into this card too much, but there are secrets. There are things you have to talk about and get through and bring up, and you will. You absolutely will. But there is pain for this person. There is a loss. There is something they're working with, and you are treading lightly and cautiously as a result of that. If you like this relationship and you're happy, then I hope it gets easier for you. I hope it gets more fun, less contemplative. I hope you just enjoy it more, and I hope you don't have to analyze everything quite so much. I want to see you a little more relaxed. Let's, and this is January. Let me see if I can get a time card for when you should start relaxing into this, because I do want to see that for you. I think it's very important. Okay, let's see here. We've got, I pulled 4 cards each reading, and not one of them had a lunar cycle attached to it, which would be like how I would track a date. So that's funny. Not one of the readings actually wanted to reveal a date. Very funny. So this says, I shine my light outwards for all to see, Moon Goddess Diana. And I will just say that you are coming through with that very sweet light and energy. You are, almost breaking this person down with sheer patience and kindness. This is coming up a little bit, this like ever so gentle conflict, but I think you can squash that and not let it take over or overpower in any way. I love your energy. I love it. And I really do like this person. I just think they're coming into I think this cycle is leaving, hence the World. I really do think they're getting out of this cycle. I really do. And with this is going to come a whole new path for you guys. There's a whole new beautiful thing that will be happening once this cycle ends. And I will say it is ending. It's passing. They don't want to hold on to it. They're too good and too smart and too grounded to want to hold on to this. And I think they've dealt with it long enough. If I get anything out of this, I would say Spirit's letting me know that this cycle is ending, and a new beautiful one will begin for you guys, and we'll see where it goes. So I hope you enjoyed this. If you have any comments, please let me know. I'd love to hear them. And just Happy New Year, Happy January, and have a great great night. Thank you so much. Bye. Hello. I just want to thank you so much. I'm new to this. I'm trying very hard to make videos that people will at some point watch and enjoy and relate to. So I hope that happens. And I really would love to hear about it. If you have anything to say, yeah, your comments would just really lift me up. But any way of expressing your gratitude, please, I would also appreciate that very much, whether it's a like, a comment, subscribe, whatever you can do that feels right. But yeah, Happy New Year. I'll be doing a reading a day. So if you think that I talk to you and you appreciate it, or you feel it, you get it, then please come back and listen to more. So yeah, Happy New Year. Thank you so much. Bye.